Thank you for hanging out with me today. I'm JB Bryan, the Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm. And I am also here to share with you some tips from AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters, my first book, my first, I can't say first publication since they count your blog as a publication nowadays, but my first book coming out in January 2016, and it's AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters. And the first principle in the AfroEconomics program is legacy. And that's why I thought we'd talk about legacy today. As the holiday season approaches, as we live our daily life, we need to focus on why we do why we do what we do. And that's what legacy is all about. Friday, the topic is going to be Black Friday. This will be my first live broadcast on Black Friday. I have never been in a shopping center on Black Friday. And I love the name, though. I know that there are some people who have problems with the name. I love the name. Black Friday has a special meaning to me because I love to hear the word black as often as possible. I love being black. So Black Friday, we're going to be talking about your black money and why our black dollars really count. I don't want to forget to encourage you to download the AfroEconomics phone app. It is free on your smartphone or not so smartphone. Download the AfroEconomics app and it will help make you even smarter. And this video is on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and please click like if you like the video. Like it anyway. It encouraged me to do better. So let's talk about our legacy. And I have my notes here. So when we're talking about 30 minutes and I want to stay on point, I'm going to have to refer to my notes. So bear with me because this is the actual first principle in the AfroEconomics book. And I have about 7 key points that I close out the chapter with. So I'm just going to go down our 7 key points that for us to just discuss. Please put in comments because Erin is here with me and she's going to help me. If you have any questions, or we also have people on the teleconference. If you have any questions or if it's something that I say, just ask it out or type it in because this is interactive. And on the Google Plus, I can see my chat room, but I don't know if you can actually, chat. So I need you to chat in. I know that on YouTube, it does allow Erin to see the comments. So we need those of you on Google Plus to do the same. And so let's talk about your legacy, your why, your what matters, what keeps us going, why we get up. Like this morning, my daughter asked me yesterday, which I exercise every morning, but she was out of school today, and she said, Mom, can you make sure that I go with you to the gym tomorrow? And for some reason, her having said that, I wanted to sleep in. And then said, my legacy is at stake here. I have to lead by example. So I, crawled out into this extremely cold weather. I think that's what it is that, here in the Southeast, all of a sudden, the temperature has dropped drastically and we made it. But, my legacy, it's very important to me to leave her with an example of a healthy lifestyle. And the best way to assure your legacy is to live by it and to live the design. There are times where we will tell people what to do, but it is much better when you do what you want people to do. So when you live it and when you take those steps and they're able to see it on a daily basis, that's when we're really creating a legacy. And that's why it's the first principle of AfroEconomics, because our community will grow, continue to expand, to improve and really change the world as Black people. We have such we're in such a position to make a huge social and economic impact on this planet. And sometimes we forget that. We only think that what we buy from the store matters, but it's really, what we put into our family. That's what really matters as far as the continuation of wealth and wealth development and wealth expansion in our community, is the financial habits that we make a lifestyle for our family. So number one is decide and present to the world what values define your life, what drives you, what type of powerful footprint do you want to leave on this planet. So we have to decide and present to the world what values define your life. So when you're remembered, what do you want to be remembered for? That you had 200 pairs of shoes, or you read books every day? Do you want to be remembered for when you died, you had 10 credit cards in your wallet that were all maxed out? Or do you want to be remembered for every month you were contributing to your savings? Every month you were reducing your debts. You tried hard throughout your life to develop wealth, which wealth is when your assets exceed any debts that are connected to them, that you actually have things that are going to grow from generation to generation, at least have the opportunity to grow from generation to generation. So there are some things that we can think of that we spend a large percentage of our income on, unfortunately, that are not going to increase in value from generation to generation. And they might be things like shoes and expensive purses and even motorcycles that are like, unless we keep it for a long, long time, like I don't really want to put motorcycles in that category because I love motorcycles, but they do depreciate. And I have seen, people waste a lot of money, on assets that rust, go down in value, or electronics, spending $5,000 a year on always having the finest, television, and then the television creates a lazy lifestyle of sitting there. But we need to actually, I'm sorry, I thought she had a comment, that we need to actually focus on what do we want our lifestyle to represent. On weekends, did your family sit and spend some time learning and empowering and expanding skills? Or does your family only see you watching very inappropriate shows all weekend, or sitting around drinking and smoking? What these things are. We spend a lot of time asking people like me as investment advisors, what is the best stock? What is the best mutual fund? Those are the easy decisions to think. Those are the easy decisions. But the things that make you have to spend and sell your investments before they can even go into the next generation, and that's where the compounding and the long-term growth is that when you purchase, but it's able to go into the next generation. And if we're dominating our one generation on spending every dime that we make, none of it is into an investment. None of it is going into a business for the future. None of it is going into information or skills that can actually increase your income. So decide and present to the world what values are going to define your life. We have to make that decision. What do I want to represent? And let's look at a second part of your legacy is identify, appreciate, and acknowledge the important relationships in your life. And decide how you want to help them while you're living, and decide how you want to help those that you care about upon your death. That's a big statement, but we have to do it. Yes.
Bozeman
Yes.
Development says children
Bozeman Development
says children force you to walk your talk.
It says Bozeman out in California, Bozeman Development. Very, 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 very good. Good. I mean, they have so much information on their blog. Definitely check it out. They're all about our community's empowerment, Bozeman Development on WordPress. And he said that children force you to walk the walk and walk your talk. That's right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It said that our children do. And that's what the Bible says, that our children are our gifts from God. And I really, truly believe that. My daughter changed my life and forced me into making much better decisions about so many, every aspect of my life. That they do, and they're beautiful. And even if you don't have children, or before you have children, you have to be preparing for what am I saying to the next generation beyond me. I have family members that are educators, but they've never had children, but their life still impacts those kids that they spend time with all day long. So you're even children in general, even if they're not just yours, it's your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your lifestyle can change. There's so many things I've seen where successful people have said that it is not even their direct parent, it could be their grandparent or their cousin or their uncle that actually changed their life and turned their life around, or inspired them to create a better life for themselves, their family. And it really makes a difference. And we should take ourselves more seriously. I think it's a cop-out when you feel like because you don't have anyone that you directly look at and you think that because I don't have any children, then then I'm not really responsible for anyone, but you are. And when your children get grown, as you may think, or they're 18 and I don't need to worry about that. That is not true. Your entire life, you are connected to that child that is on this planet, that child that may not they may not be your child genetically, but we have to look out for each other. Every young person that I see, I know that I represent a big part of their life. I take myself that seriously. And I think that's the bottom line, that starting the AfroEconomics program with Legacy forces us to take our life more seriously. I think that the Bozeman Development will agree with me on that because we don't take our lives so seriously, some of the practices in society are showing us now that if we don't take our lives seriously, no one else will. We have to represent that every time a life is taken, everything that life was bringing to the planet has been changed. Everybody that person is involved with, their entire life is changed. We all have such an ability. We're all here for a purpose, and that's what Legacy is all about. We should see that we have to identify and appreciate and acknowledge the importance that we have in the relationships that we create, and the relationships that we have and that we've created. What do we want to do for them? What do we want to do? Do we want to make sure that they are getting the education that they need, or do we want to make sure that we're providing job opportunities? Do we want to make sure, what do we want to do while the people whose lives we touch, while they're living, while we're living, and what would we like to leave upon our death, and take the steps accordingly to take care of it. And then let's look at number 3. Develop your personal vision, your mission, and develop a purpose statement for your life and your legacy. Because we immediately think, oh, I need to go to talk to a lawyer because I need to get my will set up, and The will is just a legal document. The most important thing about a will, about your life, is that what you're trying to do. So when you come in to talk to a financial advisor, when you come in to talk to a lawyer, that when you go in to talk to professionals, you first must know what your personal vision is, what your mission is, and have that purpose statement. Because first you have to have a life plan that'll lead to that financial plan, that will lead to that will and that estate planning. But we first have to know what is important to us. We have another question as well. Great.
We have a comment and a question.
Comment and a question. This is good. This is good.
The comment is from King Kalifani.
Got King Califani. He's on has his on WCLM.com. Check out his show. Definitely.
He says, "Thank you for inspiring me to change my mind. I had to change my thoughts about spending, saving, and investing.
Wow.
It's never too late to change. Without information, we do not think critically."
Definitely check that out, that comment that he made on YouTube, that through the AfroEconomics program, we were able to change each other's mind, because I've shared AfroEconomics on his radio show, and that actually King, after serving a public servant for so many years with the NAACP, he actually has changed many of mine more than he can ever imagine. And I find that very encouraging for Afroeconomics. I just thank God for him.
Yes, and we have a question.
A question.
From Marcus Rice team.
Marcus Rice, a real estate mogul.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
He says, "How do you take your finances seriously when all your friends and family do not?"
How do you take your finances seriously when definitely, and he said that you're gonna we talked about that when I did a workshop on dream killers, we were talking about dream killers during my entrepreneurship workshop, and all three of the brothers that are making comments are entrepreneurs, so I know they each have their own personal experience of dream killers and people not really taking your finances seriously, especially as it relates to legacy and what we're talking about, because a lot of your life is committed to creating that legacy for those that you want them to enjoy the efforts that you put out. And you want to know with confidence that upon your death, that those who are inheriting your business, those who are inheriting the lifestyle that you created, that they also are committed to taking their dollars, taking their efforts, taking their life and their habits very seriously. And how do we do that? I think we internalize it. And I ask myself, what can I do differently to help bring home that point to that person, instead of putting the energy into changing someone else? I constantly now try to check out myself and say, what have I done? Is there something that I'm doing that is contributing to that behavior within them? And then when I know that I have myself, my house, that I've thoroughly swept around my front door, then I can honestly say that they're a lost cause. I think that but by us just continuing to stay the course and setting the example, typically they're going to get on board, because people are drawn to our success. They are drawn to our good moves that we're making. They're drawn to the fact that they tried everything they could, but it did not stop us. So the respect will have to be given, or they will be eliminated by their own hands, by their own source. So, but very, very good point. So let's look at number 4. Number 3 is about developing your personal vision, mission, and purpose statement. Number 4, you're responsible for protecting your footprint. As I was just speaking about, you're responsible for protecting your footprint that God has made for you, that identifies who you are and what you are meant to do for this world. And so your legacy is your legacy, and it is your responsibility to protect the footprint that you have a responsibility to thoroughly put into this ground while you're here. For every day, we don't know how many days we're going to get, but every day that we have, we need to be putting that footprint in deeper, firmer, and really solidifying to the planet what you believe in, what you're going to leave, what you're going to have right now while you're here. And it's very, I think that the more we get committed to taking our lives seriously, the less is the behavior that we see a lot in our community of spending everything while we're here. When you take your life seriously, you want something to be left behind. I want AfroEconomics to exist forever, for generations and generations to come. I wanted to just be created by JB Bryan, and then they splashed my little picture, and then I'm in heaven, enjoying myself. But I wanted to go on and on and on. But that requires taking your life seriously. If you don't, then you say, well, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go off to Aruba and spend 4 months and just, do those things there. Now, that's important to some people. That is not important to me. What is important to me is that I touch every life that I can have, and that we do things like this so that someone's life is infected and motivated, impacted. The AfroEconomics and the developing your legacy is put deeply into the core of our community. And number 5 is to create your day-to-day financial plan and live it. Just do it. Create your day-to-day financial plan. Sometimes we look so far off into the future that it gives us an excuse to accumulate debt today. That's why Black Friday, or the session on Black Friday, is very important, because people are going out to the mall on our day, Black Friday, and wasting money. The Black Friday is about you, if you have that day off, you doing things for yourself and your family, cleaning up, getting things together, sitting down with your kids, going over the homework, making sure that they're, finishing this semester strong, talking about what is really legitimately going to change the face and the impact of your family, washing the clothes that you already have and organizing the closet and looking at your current blessings. Most people out there shopping haven't even worn everything that they have in their closet yet. Sad to say, but true. We should be buying something for someone else, investigating what Black businesses are in your area and how you can help someone, seeing that your family members, did everybody eat yesterday? Check out your own before you go out there spending at somebody else's store. And then number 6 is manage your money, ensure your assets and valuable personal items, so that there will be a blessing for future generations. Now, manage your money, ensure yourself and your assets. Now, insurance is a powerful thing. Most people in our community have some sort of life insurance, but a lot of people in our community are underinsured and spending too much money on insurance. So they just went out there, they bought something, and they thought that it was cheap, and what they end up wasting money on something that they think is cheap, because often dollar for dollar, that cheap little policy from television that you got without the health check isn't going to impact your family's legacy. In many cases, you may not even be able to accumulate the money that you want over your lifetime, but you are going to die. So life insurance should be taken very seriously. Every dime that you spend on it should be taken very seriously. Your health should be taken very seriously, because if your health is out of whack, then you have to spend too much money on your life insurance. So they're making money on you unnecessarily, again, just because of lifestyle choices of not taking yourself seriously enough. You deserve it. You deserve it. Your family deserves you to take yourself seriously. You deserve that. But what we need to do is say, what is the appropriate amount? How much insurance do I need? Like on jbbryan.com, I have an insurance calculator, or talk to your financial advisor. You got to have that personal plan that we talked about in the number 3, your purpose statement, what you want to do. If you literally want your families to be multimillionaires upon your death, life insurance is an easy way to make things happen. I mean, it is. I mean, you can get these things. You want your family to be debt free. It has to be done. But these things have to be paid for. They have to be paid for. So we have to have a plan on how we're going to pay for it, why it's significant, what I want to be done, what debts need to be paid off. Now, I've had friends who've gone out there and co-signed for things and gotten into tremendous debt with people, and they didn't have any way for that debt to be paid off if that co-signer passes away. So even if you're in friends and you start a business and you go into business together and you get into this business debts together, things like that, there's so many strategies on how, if you take your things seriously and you have a plan intact of how that business can take off from you having the right things in place to take care of if one of you passes away. Because we're guaranteed we're all going to die. It's just when we die is what matters. But I believe that we should live each day like it's our last. We should be making steps every day like this is the last day of my life, which means you don't act a fool. If this is my last day, if you really feel like this is your last day, so that means that I should act a fool. But to me, if it was my last day, I'm going to make sure that everything is in check. If I know, but God made it good. He said, you're not going to know. We know not the day nor the hour that it is going to be over for you. So you don't know. So what you got to do is just prepare yourself accordingly for success. You have to prepare yourself accordingly that I want to make sure that I leave something of significance on this planet. It doesn't have to be money. The best thing that you can leave for your family, in my opinion, as an investment advisor, is a good family name. A good family name of a good reputation, a good hard worker, a good to people, honest, truthful person. That is priceless. If you can say, your father was one of the best men I ever met. That's priceless. You leave him $10 million, but they say your father was a crook and I can't stand him. And you got generations to come that'll remember that the legacy for your family is that you're a crook and a thief and hurt everybody and never did anything, robbed from old ladies. That's negative 10 million. So even if you left 10 million, as these are negative 10 million, so they're at zero. They're starting with nothing. And so imagine if you don't even have 10 million to start with and a bad reputation. Legacy is important. Legacy is important. So then we have so I have manage your money, insure yourself, your assets, your valuable personal items so that you are blessing the future generations. Have your documents organized and up to date with beneficiaries intact on how you want things to be done. You've gone through divorces and changes like that. Make sure you update the forms and make sure that you have things set up the way that you want. Because remember, you don't know what's going to happen. So prepare yourself accordingly. And then finally, create a personal legacy plan with the help of a skilled financial advisor, and will also lead into some legal documents where you'll have to get an attorney involved. And your financial advisor may have some referrals, some recommendations, some attorneys that are needed. But the best thing before you have to go into any legal documents is to make sure that you have all of your financial plan and how you want things to be done, so that when you do get in front of an attorney, you have everything organized appropriately, and it saves you a lot of billable hours. A lot more money gets to stay in your pocket when you know what you want and you know what your family needs. I am JB Bryan. I am the President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm. Let me look at my checklist. A registered investment advisory firm. My website is jbbryan.com and AfroEconomics.com. And Black Friday, 2 days after you eat that turkey and you relax and do whatever you do, I'm going to get some work done. I'm going to be working on my book and editing. I'm going to try to be as productive as possible. And the Black Friday, we're going to talk about you and your money, developing healthy spending habits. Please download the AfroEconomics app. If I see you and you go, oh, I've been watching you on YouTube and blah, 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 and I'm going to look at your phone. I want to see AfroEconomics on there. And if you could, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and click like on this video, because I mean, that is, if you like it, please let me know you liked it. And have a wonderful holiday. Have a wonderful day. God bless all of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And tune in on Friday at 11. We'll do it a little bit earlier at 11 on Friday. And it's Black Friday live stream. Take care. God bless.